Hey, everyone. Before we start this video, I just want to say that what I'm about to tell you is completely true, and it happened to me just 3 nights ago. I'm still trying to process everything, and honestly, I haven't been able to sleep properly since. If you're watching this alone at night, maybe turn on some lights, because this story is going to make you question everything you thought you knew about living alone. So, let me set the scene for you. I've been living in this apartment for about 8 months now. It's a small one-bedroom place on the 4th floor of an older building. Nothing fancy, but it's mine and I've always felt safe here. I live completely alone. No roommates, no pets, just me. The building isn't super modern, but it's not run down either. My neighbors are quiet, mostly older people and a few young professionals like me who keep to themselves. Everything was completely normal until 3 nights ago. It was a Tuesday night, and I had just finished binge watching a series on Netflix. Nothing scary, just a regular comedy show. I remember looking at my phone and seeing it was already 2:30 in the morning. I know, I should have better sleep habits, but we've all been there, right? So I brushed my teeth, turned off all the lights except for my small nightlight in the hallway, and got into bed. I was scrolling through social media for maybe 10 minutes when I started feeling really tired. You know that heavy feeling when your eyelids just start dropping and your phone almost falls on your face. I plugged my phone into the charger, set it on my nightstand, and rolled over to go to sleep. My room was pretty dark, except for the tiny bit of light coming from under my door, from the hallway nightlight. I'm not sure exactly how long I had been asleep, but I woke up suddenly. Like that jarring kind of waking up where your heart is already racing before you even open your eyes. I grabbed my phone to check the time, and it was exactly 3:07 in the morning. My mouth was dry, and I was thinking about getting some water, but then I heard it. At first, I thought maybe I was still half asleep or dreaming. It was a voice, a whisper, actually, so quiet that I almost convinced myself I imagined it. I held my breath and listened. My apartment was silent. I could hear the usual sounds, the hum of my refrigerator in the kitchen, a car passing by outside, the building settling. Nothing unusual. I was just about to relax and go back to sleep when I heard it again. This time, it was clearer. It was definitely a voice, and it was definitely coming from inside my room. My blood went cold. The voice was whispering something, but I couldn't make out the words. It sounded like it was coming from the corner of my room near my closet. I know what you're thinking. Why didn't I just turn on the light? Trust me, I wanted to, but I was literally frozen in fear. You know that feeling when your body just won't respond to what your brain is telling it to do. That's exactly what happened. I was lying there in the dark, covers pulled up to my chin, barely breathing, just listening. The whispering continued. It would stop for maybe 30 seconds and then start again. It wasn't constant, but it was definitely there. I still couldn't make out any actual words, but it sounded almost like someone was having a conversation. Like when you can hear people talking in another room, but can't quite hear what they're saying. After what felt like an eternity, but was probably only 2 or 3 minutes, I finally forced myself to move. My hand was shaking so badly that I almost knocked my phone off the nightstand. I turned on my phone's flashlight and pointed it toward the corner where the sound was coming from. Nothing, just my closet door slightly open like it always is, and some clothes hanging inside. I sat up in bed and turned on my bedside lamp. warm light flooded my room, and everything looked completely normal. My desk with my laptop, my dresser with some random stuff on top, my closet, my bookshelf. Everything was exactly where it should be. No one was there. The whispering had stopped the moment I turned on the light. I got out of bed and checked my entire apartment. I looked in the closet, under the bed, in the bathroom, the kitchen, everywhere. All my windows were locked. My front door was locked with the chain still on from the inside. There was absolutely no way anyone could have gotten in or out. I was completely alone. I tried to rationalize it. Maybe it was sound from a neighbor's apartment traveling through the walls or vents. Maybe it was something outside. Maybe I was still half asleep and dreaming. I grabbed a glass of water and sat on my couch for a while, trying to calm down. Eventually, around 4:30, I convinced myself it was nothing and went back to bed with my lamp on. The next morning, I felt ridiculous. In the daylight, everything seemed so normal and safe. I almost laughed at myself for being so scared. I went to work, had a normal day, and pretty much forgot about it. That night, I went to bed around midnight, completely exhausted from not sleeping well the night before. But then it happened again. I woke up at 3:14 in the morning to the same whispering. This time, I wasn't as paralyzed by fear because I was already half expecting it. I immediately turned on my light and the whispering stopped instantly. I got up and checked everywhere again. Nothing. No one. All doors and windows locked. This time, I was more frustrated than scared. I started recording on my phone, thinking maybe I could catch the sound and figure out where it was coming from. I turned off the lights and waited. I sat there in the dark for almost an hour, but nothing happened. The whispering only seemed to happen when I was asleep or just waking up. Yesterday, during the day, I did some research. I looked up everything from carbon monoxide poisoning, causing auditory hallucinations, to exploding head syndrome, to sleep paralysis. I checked if there were any reports of my building having weird acoustics or pest problems. Nothing seemed to fit exactly what I was experiencing. Last night was the third night. I decided to try something different. I set up my laptop to record video and audio while I slept. I positioned it so it had a view of most of my room, including the corner where the sound seemed to come from. I also left my bedroom door completely open and kept more lights on in my apartment. I went to bed around 11 and surprisingly fell asleep pretty quickly. Then, at 3:02 in the morning, I woke up to the whispering again. But this time, something was different. This time, I could actually make out some of the words. The voice was saying my name over and over. Just my name in this quiet, raspy whisper. I'm not going to lie to you guys. I completely freaked out. I jumped out of bed, turned on every single light in my apartment, and I didn't sleep for the rest of the night. I just sat on my couch with my phone in my hand, ready to call someone if I needed to. This morning, I checked the recording from my laptop. I watched the whole thing. You can see me sleeping. Then at 3:02, you can see me suddenly sit up and turn on the light. But here's the really creepy part. On the audio, you can't hear any whispering at all. The recording is completely silent, except for normal ambient sounds and me moving around. So now, I'm left with more questions than answers. If the recording didn't pick it up, does that mean it's not real? Am I experiencing some kind of auditory hallucination? Is there something wrong with me medically? Or is there something in my apartment that technology just can't capture? I've decided I'm going to stay with a friend for a few nights and see if it happens there. If it does, then I know it's something with me and I need to see a doctor. If it doesn't happen, then there's something specifically about my apartment. I'm also going to have someone come check for carbon monoxide and any other potential issues with the building. The logical part of my brain is telling me there has to be a rational explanation. Maybe it's stress related. Maybe I'm more tired than I realize. Maybe there's some weird psychological thing happening. But there's another part of me that can't shake the feeling that something genuinely strange is going on. What makes it even creepier is that it happens at almost the exact same time each night, right around 3 in the morning. And the fact that it's getting progressively more clear, from unintelligible whispers to actually saying my name, that progression feels intentional somehow. I want to know if any of you have experienced anything like this. Have you ever heard voices or sounds in your home that you couldn't explain? Do you think this is paranormal, or is there a scientific explanation I'm missing? Please let me know in the comments, because I'm running out of ideas here. I'm going to keep updating you guys on what happens. Tonight will be my first night staying somewhere else, and I'm genuinely curious to see if anything happens. Part of me hopes nothing does, because that would mean the problem is with my apartment and not with me. But another part of me almost wants it to happen again, just so I know I'm not losing my mind. If you made it this far, thank you for listening to my story. I know it sounds crazy, and trust me, I feel crazy even talking about it. But it's real, and it's happening, and I needed to share it with someone. Make sure you hit that subscribe button and turn on notifications, because I'll definitely be making a follow-up video once I figure out what's going on. Stay safe out there, everyone, and maybe check your apartments before you go to sleep tonight. You never know what might be sharing your space with you. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the